What's up, YouTube? It's the Midwest Mediocre Mom here to talk to you about my mediocre week. This story I hope will make you feel better about your crappy week. So I have a 1-year-old and he is great. He is fantastic. It's been a lot of firsts for me and my husband with our 1-year-old. Done a lot of new things, experienced a lot of new things, and this was probably my most dreaded first ever, and it has happened, and it's here, and I'm past it, and I'm fine. We had our first puke this week. Not spit up, not little, bodily function. No, we had our first puke. So it happened on Wednesday. And I'm just going to tell you what happened. I came home from the gym that night. It was probably around 9, and I made myself a snack. It was delicious. It was yogurt and granola and bananas and strawberries. I was very looking forward to this. And I sat down on the couch in the living room with my husband. We're watching TV, and I'm enjoying this snack. And I hear my son kind of whining in his room, which it's pretty normal. He kind of whines a lot. And I didn't see that the monitor was on, so I turned the monitor on and wait for it to power up because I can still hear him in there, and he's crying, and I'm looking at this monitor. Okay, so here's the monitor. It's a tiny tablet. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see him sleeping. The infrared of the night vision on the camera makes the cover sometimes, the sheet, distorted. It had rubbed a certain way, it looks a darker color, so it looks different. So I'm looking at this monitor going, zooming in all over the place. And I say, is that puke? I know it's puke. I could tell by the chunky consistency that it is puke. So I'm getting myself collected. Now let me back up and tell you why this was probably my biggest fear first. For my whole life, I have been terrified of puke. People puking near me, seeing people puke, hearing people puke, smelling people puke. Knowing someone has puked within walking distance of me is something that would make me so scared that I would be hot. My armpits would hurt. They'd get all like tingly and itchy, and I would pit out, and so I'm puking. I can't. So that would be my basic reaction. And that's why this was my scariest first, because of this fear. And so I'm seeing this puke on the monitor. Something came over me. It must have been like the mom spirits were like, your baby needs you. Go to him. Because I just ran in there. I turned the hall light on, I opened the door. I didn't have to see anything. I could smell that puke as soon as I opened the door. In a normal situation, dry heaving everywhere. No dry heaves. I just went over to him. He's crying. It is the most sad cry I've ever heard come out of him. And I picked him up. I put him on the changing table, started immediately getting him undressed. My husband comes in right after me, and he's immediately getting the sheets taken care of, cleaning up, okay, the sheets, the side of the crib, the floor, possibly the wall. The exorcist visited my son during this puke. It was just everywhere. and it was terrible. I knew that he had eaten oranges, and I knew that he had had shrimp and pasta. That's how clear this puke was. It was like reading tea leaves. I knew exactly what was going on. So I get him all undressed, and of course he's crying, and I think, well, one, I don't know what to do. This is the first time this ever happened, and it's my first child. So I'm thinking, I gotta clean him up. It stinks. He stinks. He's uncomfortable. He doesn't feel good. And normally we take baths in our bathtub together because it's a big jet tub, so we can both fit in there. And so I took him in there, started the water, got in there with him, and just held him on my chest and put water on him to kind of just soothe him, bring him down a level. And that part was nice. He's not still very often, so just to be there with him was nice, and to be there for him was nice. But at the same time, I'm thinking, oh my God, what do I do? Finally, at the point where he's sitting on his own in there, and I'm washing his hair and just getting him all clean, when he puked again in the bathtub. Again, remember my fear of puke. I am now sitting in a bathtub of puke. There's puke on me. And he kept puking, so in order to get less puke in the water, my hands immediately went. And so I'm holding puke, sitting in puke, covered in puke, with a baby. What do I... So I'm calling for my husband to come help me, and eventually he comes and helps me, and he gives me something for me to put the puke in, and he takes him, and I'm getting out of the bathtub and emptying the bathtub. I don't care about the bathtub. I just leave puke rim around the tub. I do not care about the bathtub. I get myself cleaned up and go back into his room where he's getting his pajamas back on. My husband's putting his pajamas on, and then I sit with him, just rock with him in the chair. We give him some water to keep him hydrated, and he does drink the water, and we brush his teeth, because who wants to taste puke in their mouth? Not me. So I don't think he would either. Once we did that, he sat there, and he did smile at me. And so I put him down to sleep, and he went to sleep, and it was probably, I went back into the living room and continued to eat my post-workout snack, totally unfazed by the fact that I was just sitting in puke water, and I was eating it. I was like a whole new person. That's amazing. Until I heard the next, just like that. That was perfect. That's what I heard in the water. I go back in there, less puke this time, and I stand him up in his bed, and he's still puking, so I try to kind of contain it on the bed, much less, but it's still splattering places. I take his clothes off and clean him up again. This time when we sit in the chair, I just have him in his diaper, because at this point, how many more jammies are we going to go through? So I just have him on my chest with a blanket, and as my husband comes in to change the sheets again, he's looking at him, so he's sitting up and he's looking at him, and he drinks water, he's taking water, and he seems to be doing okay, just like he was the first time. So we decided to come out into the living room and sit down together, and just watch some TV, and have him sit with me in the rocking chair. And he's up looking around, because there's definitely more to see in the living room. And he slides down off me on the chair and immediately starts to dance. Why is he dancing? He just puked for like an hour and a half, and he's dancing. He wasn't just dancing. He was dancing and clapping. Are you sick? What is wrong with you? Are you okay? Did you make yourself? I don't know what to do at this point. I'm like, are you sick? I'm questioning everything and with him now. Can he secretly talk? Is he a baby genius? Like the movies? Does he really not like green beans? I don't know. No idea. No idea. I have no clue what that was. He did not puke again. He went to sleep just fine. Eventually went to sleep around 11:30. He woke up the next day. He was fine. What just happened? The whole thing was very confusing for me. And I don't know if kids in general just randomly puke all the time, or if he was legitimately sick. I'm gonna say maybe something just irritated his stomach, but is that gonna happen all the time? Am I gonna be sitting in puke bath water all the time? Well, I'm just gonna assume it's gonna happen again. And maybe I'll be better prepared for it. Although I feel like I handled it very well for having such a terrifying fear of being thrown up on. Seriously, I feel like there was like a mother spirit that just was like, take care of your child right now. Who cares the cost? It was just like I was being possessed by like a warrior Amazon woman who was just maternal to her core, and I just went for it. I've only experienced that one other time, and it was not as graceful, and that was when he had serious diarrhea in Target, and it was a 2-person diaper change. Pants came off, poop in my hair. I thought I'd been shot. I'm tearing up. Well, it's pretty dramatic. So, but I still got that diaper changed. Poop in hair. I guess the moral of the story is that I will never be clean again. I will always be dirty. Always. Yeah. So when you see me on the street, don't judge me if I'm covered in something. Something. Who knows at this point? Who knows? So that's my story from the week. I hope it makes you feel better about your week. I would say this was lower than mediocre, this experience. However, it took me to the next mom level, and I feel like I leveled up. I'm just living a normal life, being a normal mom. Taking normal puke baths. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can see more videos coming. New channel for me. So stay tuned for more mom experiences. I plan to share so much more about being a normal mom and a mom living in the Midwest, dealing with different seasons and dealing with different things that come with living here and just being a normal mom. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you again. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching. Stay more than mediocre.